Hello everybody, this is GamerGar and today we're continuing our Stardew Valley challenge run. Can we make 5 million gold in 1 year? So we're on day 15 now at the moment and the wife just reached max level in farming. And this is fantastic because we can now grow crops 10% faster thanks to her perk. The crops that we do harvest, we're going to put them into seed makers so we can get even more seeds. So we put most of the crops that we have into those seed makers to maximise the amount of starfruit that we can actually grow. So we're going to make a much larger profit this way. Now because we're doing this does mean that we need more sprinklers, we have to hoe more ground, so the farm gets bigger. So we now have a pretty big patch of starfruit grown here. So the wife is also putting down speed grow, or sorry, I'm putting down speed grow. So the crops grow a little bit faster, because the faster they grow, the more money we're going to make. I've run out of sprinklers, so I got to go back to the mines now and I need to make more sprinklers as quickly as possible. Day 16 was great, we got a rainy day. So that little patch that I couldn't put sprinklers down in was already covered by the rain. I was able to forage my forageables today. And I made more summer seeds out of those forageables. So I made another batch here, 10 more seeds to put down. You know the trend by now. I need tree fertilizer and I need it now. We don't have any kegs at the moment. So any trees I see, I need to cut them down, get that forageable level up. So we're just prepping the patch here now again for more sprinklers. We've got lots of starfruit seeds now that we can put down. So once all these seeds are finished, if we have the time, we could put them into the seed maker, but it all depends. More than likely not though, because they're still going to take about 9 or 10 days to grow. So all those starfruit will be going into kegs. We spend loads of money on speed grow, and my foraging finally gets to level 7, I can make tree fertilizers. Praise be to God. So because we don't have any new sprinklers, we have to water these crops for now. But for the moment I'm going to make as much tree fertilizers as possible. So I've got 86 tree fertilizers there ready to go. So I'm going to help the wife with watering, then I'm going to go to the desert and I'm going to use all these tree fertilizers. Wife goes back down to the mines here now to get some copper. This is also handy for the wife because she needs to get her mining skill and her combat skill up, because we're going to be doing Skull Cavern runs eventually. So it's all going to pay off. So I'm just going back to the beach here now, just to pick up a few more items here to sell. And to further increase my foraging level. The priority at the moment is sprinklers, because we're using up a considerable amount of time every morning to water the starfruit that haven't been set up for sprinklers yet. So I've got level 3 mining there. So we're on day number 18 here now. The rush is on. Gotta get the sprinklers down as quickly as possible. So what we're doing here is we're making preparations for keg building. We're putting down maple seeds here and we're going to cut down all those trees when they've fully grown. So we're just making preparations now because we're going to need lots of kegs, hundreds of kegs. So here I'm using my tree fertilizers. If I have any left over, I'll use them up here as well. This is just to ensure that we never run out of wood, because wood is used for so many things, especially kegs. Now because I have put down tree fertilizer on all these little mini trees, in the next day or two they'll all be fully grown, so I can put tappers on all of them. So we're going to have loads of resins very soon. We can start making loads of kegs, we can start making starfruit wine. And that's going to be our main money maker for the moment. Lots of starfruit wines. So as you've probably noticed now is that we've kind of stopped with the fishing. And it's now full whack on the cave. Because we need metals for kegs. We need metals for tappers. We need metals for sprinklers. We need lots and lots of metals. Iron, gold, copper, we need it all. So there's huge grinding on in the cave at the moment. So we will have mats for sprinklers very soon. We can put down the rest of them. So I'm just fighting a couple of dust sprites here. Sometimes you can get coffee beans off those dust sprites, and we said that if we did get a coffee bean early in spring, we would have actually planted coffee and tried to sell it, but we just didn't get the luck. You know, sometimes I can kill literally 1 or 2 dust sprites at the very start of the game. They'll drop coffee beans. Other times you could kill 100 dust sprites and they won't drop it. It's just the luck of the draw, I suppose. Valuable iron ore. I'll take as much iron ore as this game can give out. So I got a few levels in farming there now because the wife has maxed out her farming, so I'm going to be doing all the harvesting now to get my farming up to level 10. And when I get my farming up to level 10, I'm going to go for the artisan profession, so that when I sell the starfruit wines, they're going to be worth a lot more. The wife will keep her farming profession for faster crop growth. So because we're going to combine those two professions together, we're going to make a lot more money than you would be able to on a single playthrough. So it's just back to the mines again, and we're in the mines a lot now because we need more sprinklers, we need everything. But this is handy because it's also getting our combat and mining levels up. So it's all going to pay off eventually. And we don't mind killing the dust sprites because they drop coal as well, which is handy. Coal is something that we use a lot because we're smelting stuff every day. And if we get very low on coal, then we'll just use our co-op coal farming hack. So we can get a few hundred pieces of coal in a day with that, especially if we have buffs. Check out the coal farming hack video actually if you are interested in learning one of the best ways in the game that you can farm coal, but it has to be in co-op mode of course. So we got more sprinklers here now that we made. So we're sorted now for sprinklers for the moment. We will possibly need a lot more when it comes to fall, because we're gonna buy a lot of pumpkins. So as you can see so far, we don't have a whole lot of money. We got 8,200 gold there. But when we start selling the starfruit wine, we are gonna start getting hundreds of thousands of gold. An absolute crap ton of gold. So it's back to Clint. Time to upgrade. But first we're going to get him to crack open geodes here. So there's a few reasons why we're getting him to crack open geodes. And the first is that we would absolutely love a prismatic shard. But it's also just another way for us to make money because our geodes have built up. Getting coal is really handy as well. Iron ore and gold ore is also really handy that you can get from the geodes. Poor Gunther, he's not going to get anything off us this year. All that stuff that we get has been sold. As you can see, there's loads of trees now in the desert. I'm also going to put more fertilizer in these small trees. Now I'm not going to put tappers on those trees. I'm going to cut those down for wood. So what we're doing here is just making sure that we never run out of wood. So I made a couple of kegs here now, which is great. We start with our kegs here, and we're going to put starfruit in these now. Start making starfruit wine. That is a very, very small amount of kegs. We are going to make a lot more kegs, trust me. We're going to have hundreds of these kegs by the time we get to the end of the run. So day 22, and it's looking quite good for us now at the moment. So we're after tackling a few hurdles. We've got lots of starfruit down. Got loads of sprinklers up. And we've got some kegs, so we're just waiting on the trees in the desert now to produce more resin. So once resin has been produced, then we're going to harvest it and make more kegs. That's what we're waiting on at the moment. Just waiting on resins. That's why we have so many trees in the desert. Because it takes a good number of days for us to get resins, and it's a bit of a time trial at the moment because if we don't have enough kegs made, we won't be able to process all the crops. So, you know, we're more than likely not going to get the 5 million. So it's just a huge race on now to make as many kegs as possible. So we have, weekly quotas. Weekly quotas where we need to make about 50 kegs per week. More maybe 60 kegs per week. From now until the end of the year. Back to the mines again now. I love getting copper clusters like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lovely copper ores that I get to harvest. If I had a bomb I would have used it. It's very satisfying blowing those things up. So the wife is doing a bit more fishing here now because we want to build up our money supply again because we're getting to the end of summer and we want to get as much money as possible now to buy as many pumpkins as possible, because when we get the pumpkins they're also going to go into the kegs, which gets you pumpkin juice, which is a great money maker. Day 24, more starfruits have emerged, so I'm going to harvest all these to get my farming level up. So the starfruits kind of emerge in batches, because we kept planting them every day or two. We kept planting new starfruits and new starfruits. So the wife is going to try to get her forageable up as well, because when you get the forage into 10 you can get some amazing perks. The botanist perk is really good because every time you pick up a forageable, it's an iridium quality forageable, and that's really handy. It's really handy to have, especially if you pick up those purple mushrooms or if you pick up cactus fruit. They're great for the Skull Cave. They're great for giving lots of health and energy. So I need to make more tappers. I need more copper, lots of copper. I also need lots of wood to make more kegs. So it's become a right old grind now for us at the moment. I need loads of copper, I need loads of wood. Now we were thinking of buying lots of wood off Robin, but we said no because we need money for pumpkins. But if push comes to shove later on, we can always just buy wood off Robin if it's an emergency. We should be okay though because we've planted lots of trees in the desert. And I'm gonna get a lot of wood out of cutting down all those trees. Back to the mines again. It's nice when you get the copper in different levels because there's always a need for copper. Got a diamond there, which is lovely. Love getting diamonds off things. I'm gonna sell it, of course. So I got level 5 farming there. And I'm gonna keep harvesting these crops to get my farming up to level 10 so I can get the artisan profession. Wife has gone back to fishing now again so we can get more money for pumpkins. I need to stick to the mines and the trees though because it's my job to make kegs. It's also my job to make sprinklers. So here's a pro tip. We are going to buy tons of wheat. And the reason why we're doing this is so that we don't have to re-hoe the ground come fall, because wheat will survive in summer and fall. So once we've finished harvesting all the starfruit, we're going to plant all that wheat. It takes 4 days to grow. You also make a pretty good profit from it as well. So the more wheat you buy, the bigger profit you're going to make. So I got really lucky today in the mines, lots of iron ore, which is great. So in this video we're showing a lot of the mines, but this is the essence of the challenge run, you know? Fishing, mining, farming, maximising each day to get the most out of it. So day 26 has come, and more Starfruits have emerged. As you can see there, we got a second Neptune's Glaive. We didn't show it, but it's so lucky to get those. And I'm going to harvest all these Starfruits. This might be enough to max out my farming level. We're going to buy even more wheat off Pierre because we want to fill up the whole farm with it, so we don't have to re-hoe anything. So we get 400 wheat here. And we're going to get a very nice profit from that. But more importantly, it's going to save us a ton of time and energy on rehoeing the ground. So smelting more copper here. Copper is primarily used now for making kegs and for making tappers. That's the primary function for copper at the moment. So we need tons of copper. And the horrible thing about it is that you can actually buy this off Clint, but Clint will absolutely rob you. He is so expensive. I can't imagine anyone buying ores off Clint. Outrageously expensive. The only time I ever saw someone buy ores off Clint was a speedrunner, and he wanted to, I think he wanted to get a pickaxe upgrade before the cave opened. So he actually bought copper ore off Clint just so he could get a pickaxe upgrade early. So if you think this is hardcore, you have seen nothing. There's people out there with Excel spreadsheets and calculators to just planning everything. So I got level 10 farm, and I'm going to go with the Artisan profession. 40% more for wine, cheese, oil, etc. So that's 40% more for the Starfruit wines and the pumpkin juices that we're going to sell. That's huge. And we wouldn't have been able to complete this challenge without that perk. So we got super lucky here. Look at all that lovely copper. If only I got that on every floor. That is a lot of copper. And what's strange is that I got it in the mid-section of the caves. You know, not the starter section. So because we're in the caves so much, I think we actually end up completing some Monster Slayer goals. So we get some nice stuff off the Adventurers Guild. I'm pretty sure we complete the Bat Monster Slayer goal, and I'm pretty sure we also complete the Dust Sprites. Because we're always down here getting ores and slaying monsters. So my mining went up to level 9 there, which is nice. When I get level 10 mining, I'm probably going to go with a profession where I get more ores out of the, out of the ore veins that I mine, just to increase the ore gathering rates for us. So we're going to put more wheat down here now, just to preserve the land. So as you can see, there's loads of resins that I can choose, that I can collect. I bought loads of staircases there. We're getting ready for Skull Cave runs. So why are we doing Skull Cave on the 28th? We got a quest from Key. If you get down to floor 20, we're going to get money. And because we're playing co-op, it's double the reward. So it's well worth our time to get down to floor 20 just so we can get that extra gold before the fall comes in. So we can start off with a lot more money so we can buy a lot more pumpkins. So we made it past the desired floor, and we decided to leave. So we're going to receive mail now tomorrow, and we're going to get a load of money for just getting down those few levels. And we saved up the jades, throughout the months. So it was very easy just to buy staircases and just get down there. I think it's 10,000 gold each we get. I think it's 10,000 gold each, which is 20,000 gold. Which means we can buy a lot more pumpkins. So we need to make a lot more kegs. We put more up here. That's going to continue. We're going to have a ton of kegs on this farm eventually, processing the goods. So we got about 38,000 gold at the moment, but we need a lot more because we're going to buy thousands of pumpkins in fall. So we're going to sell some of our Starfruits, and we're also going to get some money from completing the Skull Cavern quests. So we should have enough to make some pretty decent purchases. So that is it. That is the end of summer. I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll upload the next video in the next day or two, so stay tuned for that. We upload Stardew Valley content every few days, so if you enjoy Stardew Valley content, then stick around, subscribe. I'd really appreciate the support. I hope you have a nice day. Bye now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be notified for my future videos. And as always, have a great day.